piece that we're talking about, and I'm just going to get right into the coaching because I'm hot. I got the air on, all the sun is on me. I've been complaining about winter, but now the sun is coming, so I can't say nothing but hallelujah, bless the Lord for the sun. And I am just critically clear from a coaching standpoint that discomfort is a part of change. That's number one right off the bat. Number one, I have to move into discomfort if I'm going to bring change. First to myself, my family, my life, my business, my community, whatever I'm talking about, I've got to be uncomfortable. I've got to move into discomfort or uncomfortability. All right, so that's number one. And so when we talk about being change agents in a society, it means we don't get to be seated on our laurels. We don't get to do the same usual thing that we always do. We don't get to just kind of willy-nilly. Y'all know what that means? That might be a Southern term from my Southern background, but willy-nilly, mamby-pamby, you know, those kinds of things. We don't get to do that. And so it becomes critical that we shift out of discomfort into new discoveries. We've got to discover, well, how you do it in the car. I mean, I see John Eckhart do it, but I'm Yolanda Powell. I'm not John Eckhart. So what do? Do you have to buy something? Do you have to plant something? How does it work? So you have to move into discovery. If you're going to move into change, there's got to be new discovery. So while I was out on my errand, I found that there are tools for doing things in cars. There are tools for doing power scope in cars. So we have to begin to move out of our comfort zone, out of those things that are familiar to us if we're going to be change agents, and we've got to begin to do that. So that becomes critical. Can you shift into and through discomfort to get to change? Number one. Number two, that I think is very critical for the body of Christ, is that we haven't changed and we haven't been agents of change because of religion. So we have got to make a radical shift from religiosity. That's number two. A radical shift from religion. Religion is a blinder. It causes a mind blinding. It's a mind blinding, mind binding demon. It is a spirit that says, sit on the pew and let somebody else do all the work. That's kind of hard to say. Sit on your laurels, on your behind, and let everybody else who's fivefold ministry do the work. And yet, did God call just fivefold ministry, or did he call a body? Did he say that he was just a head, or did he say he have eyes, ears, a mouth, hands? He said even the uncomely part would be critical for the mission. So we have to get out of religion if we're going to be agents of change. There is no way that religion is going to follow us to the mountaintop. There is no way that religion is going to keep us. Oh, Barasha, I had to felt that. There's no way that religion is going to let us stay in a mindset or move into a mindset to change. It's going to make us stay where we are. So listen, when Dr. Martin Luther King decided to be an agent of change, when he saw segregation, he saw this country in all of its Jim Crow laws, he saw that there was issues between blacks and whites, second-class citizenship. In order to become an agent of change in the 1960s, Martin Luther had to break ties with religion. He had to say to religion, you are not going to stop the creative, progressive thinking that I'm going to bring to this country. So discomfort definitely was on his head, and he had to slice and dice religion. He had to move out of what was normal for a black man in America, and he had to shift. Tap, 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 tap. And you and I have to do that now as kingdom leaders. We've got to get out of the discomfort, and we've got to break every tie, radically break every connection with religion. You know, it is just critical, because what religion makes us is a copycat. Can I say that? A copycat. Religion has no ability to be an original. Religion says, look at somebody else's thing and copy it. Religion says they cannot come with creative design because it's not the true and the living God. It doesn't have God's ability on the inside. So listen, this is what religion says. Just imitate. just copy what's already done. And so we got thousands and thousands of copycats, thousands and thousands to millions of imitations trying to be and do like somebody else. But listen, in this season, we are not copycats. We are going to be design originals. That's for my diplomat, Linda. We're going to be design originals, like my client, Linda Dixon says. We're going to tap in to what is the original design, what is the original piece. Now, the other thing, and I wanted to read this, that I wrote this down, that change makes or becomes different. To take on, listen to this, or to use another instead of the regular. So we can't use the regular to minister anymore. We can't use the regular to do our entrepreneurial business. We can't do what everybody else on our block is doing if we're going to change our families. We've got to get out of the regularity and into the impossibility. Oh, I love that word. The impossibility. We've got to begin to think outside the square, break open the box, tear it down, scrunch it under our feet, and say, no more boxes for me and mine. Can you do that? Tap, tap, tap. No more boxes for me and mine. Now, this becomes important. Listen to this. It says that there is the process, this change agent that you and I are supposed to become, is the process of causing a function, listen, a practice, or a thing to become different somehow because we touch it with our originality. That's what we need to do. We need to begin to touch things with our originality. So that means, number 3 is you and I have to get in this intimate place to discover not just the things around us, not through the discomfort, but we've got to tap the original within. Tap the original within. That's the third and final point today. We got to tap the original within. So God didn't make not even 2 leaves alike, let alone 2 snowflakes, let alone 2 blades of grass. Do you think his highest creation, his highest design would be a copycat or have no original manufacturing core? Do you believe that God would birth you, breathe life into you, and not give you an originality that is unlike anybody else in 7.5 billion people on the planet? So we've got to tap in. We've got to do masterminds. We've got to do coaching. We've got to do some kind of synergistic work and strategizing work and timeline work to discover our uniqueness. The uniqueness, the originality is part of our call and purpose. And so if we never tap that, then we can't be agents of change. Because the only way that change is going to happen in the public square, in the social reform, is because you show up with your stuff. What's your stuff? What do you bring? What do you have? What did God give you to offer so that the world could be better? That has to be tapped. So tap, 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 tap. Come on. Y'all see me out here sweating, so don't leave me out here by myself. Tap, 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 tap. So it is critical for us to move through discomfort into the place of change. It is critical for us to slice and dice religion off our brain, off our operation, off our function, off of everything we do, because as long as we're in religious thought, we're going to be copycats and imitations. We will not be original. And the last thing that we have to do is tap down, go down deep, help with the help of others, with the help of professionals, with the help of ministerial coaches. We have got to tap our original design so we know what we're offering. We know what we're bringing to the table. We know what we're going to do when we show up. It's not going to be anything nebulous. It's not going to be anything foggy. We are going to know. All right. So when we talk about being agents of change, we can talk about it, but we've got to do something. We can't just say that. I know we like these, these little things that go off in the buzz of the soul. Oh, we are walking giants. Oh, we are agents of change. Oh, we are game changers. Those are things to say, but I'm talking about raising an army of doers. How about that? Not just those who hear it, not just those who say it, but those who begin to implement it and execute. Those are my 2 words in life: execute and implement. that. So that becomes critical. Now listen, I want to tell you about this. This is I might have to move my car out this sun. Let me just move right on up here and get moving here. What I'm saying is that I believe that what God is really wanting for in this season, oh, that's so much better. See, change is good. What I'm thinking here is that we learn from the big boys. Maybe I'll take that off too. Ooh, that's better. So listen, this is what we learned from the big boys, that there was a group, many of you who are over 35, 40, many of you in this time zone will remember the typewriter, right? Typewriter, typing the letter, typing the envelope, typing. Well, there was a company called Corona, I think, and this Corolla typewriters, yes. And this company was 100 years, just doing it, 1,000 sales, hundreds of thousands of sales with its typewriter. And what I read was so fascinating in terms of our time today, because this shaker, this manufacturer, this mover of the typewriter got stuck on stupid, got stuck on regularity, got stuck on its own laurels. And here's what it did. When shifts were being made in Microsoft and in microcomputers in Apple, Corolla, God, I gotta get that right. The machine, the typewriting company began to do this. They began to just do their nails, and yawn and say, well, you know, everybody needs a typewriter. Everybody's going to be typing for another 100 years at least. And they didn't see this change begin to sneak up on them. And so before they knew it, they were starting to spiral in the marketplace, because everybody was going to a home computer. Everybody was going to a desktop. And even though it was chunky and it was big, it was new. It was original. It was out the box, right? And so that's what God is saying to us. But this company had a tagline and what would it be? Kind of like a marketing or an advertising tag. And this is what it said. It said, on the 8th day, God created Corolla. On the 8th day, God created this company. So they were so prideful, and they were so used to being top of the market with typewriters, they didn't see computers coming. And what I'm saying to you in these last minutes that I have is, we've got to be able, as the agents of change, as the agents of Christ, as the agents of the kingdom, we've got to stop looking right here and look way down the road. We've got to have new vision, new possibilities. We've got to begin to look at impossibilities with the possibility eyes, the possibility of all kinds of things happening. All right. So this becomes very, very critical for us to do. And so I'm moving up, because you're looking a little crazy and away from me now. So I'm saying to you as I close that this is so critical, that we move into change, that we move out of irregularity, that we do the things that we're called to do by thinking impossibilities, by thinking far down the road, by thinking, can you think 100 years from now? Can you think 50 at least? Can you do 20 years? Just 10? That's what we've got to begin to do. We got to do that in our life. We got to do that in our business, and we have to do that in ministry. So I am so glad to be able to kind of put myself in discomfort today. I could be in my house, in my office, and I could be sitting in my air conditioning, and I'm sitting in this car trying to do a little change to see how it works. So here it is, demonstrative. Here it is by demonstration. Here it is that I'm sweating and I'm feeling uncomfortable, but I got to make my point, and prayerfully I've made it today. So once again, you are the agents of change. You go into discomfort. You deal with the religious thoughts and the religious hindrances on your life, and you tap down, no matter what it takes, to your original design, to the thing you were created to do, and the change you were created to make in both marketplace and in ministry, and especially on those 7 mountains. Listen, people are crying. The earth is groaning for you. Everything in creation are saying, when are the agents of change going to show up? When are the agents of change going to mature? Well, it's almost our time to end. I want to release to you blessing. I want you to know that you're the best and the brightest peace in the land, and change, as difficult as it is, as hard as it can be, is necessary and it is critical in this hour. Now, I need to say this. I will be in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania on tomorrow night with my good friends and family, Apostle Melvin and Tasha Thompson, for their 10th anniversary, and they're going to be doing the extreme exploits theme, which is why we've been kind of chiming in with them this week. So we will try to periscope some of that if we get opportunity. If not, we'll be doing maybe some clips or something on our Facebook page. And we want you, if you're close by, to be there, just to support us, just to come up and say, I've been on your Powerscopes, Dr. Yolanda, and I just want to hug you. I will be so happy to embrace you in that. And then we will be back on Friday morning from Harrisburg with our Powerscopes. We'll be definitely there for another